Hey, welcome my galactic brothers and sisters, Earth brothers and sisters, and all the brothers and sisters out there in cosmic land. I appreciate you tuning in each and every week and listening to me talk about the esoteric, the cosmic knowledge, the universal word. I've been doing this for about 45 years plus and making contact, having communications, and working here on Earth on really establishing my communications with myself, and because of that, I'm able then to better communicate with those around me. The best way to learn how not to fight is to fight. The best way to learn how to not argue is to argue. Right? This may sound counterintuitive, but as a student of martial arts for many decades, the one of the overseen lessons, if you will, was that once you know the knowledge, then someone who approaches you, the energy that you have within will, in one sense, intimidate them, but on a higher realm, that they can feel you. And just like you can sort of feel who the smartest person in the class is, right? And yes, you can go and challenge them, but you're going to be outsmarted by a wordsmith. And just as in martial arts, sometimes when you think someone is small or weak, that somehow, and because you're by stature taller and bigger, that you can kick their butts. From my own experience, I was very humbled by not judging a book by its cover or a being by its cover, a galactic being by its cover. And so getting in today is about learning how to communicate. And just as with martial arts and the rest of it, once you knew how to fight, you don't have to fight. You have all the information within you that you can prevent that fight. And if you have practiced debating and going through a lot of arguments, and people tell you that you're argumentative, begin to see that as a talent. And then we're going to hone it in and present our arguments humbly. We're going to present them with an open heart. We're going to take responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and emotions. And why do we do this? Well, because then people that we encounter, or beings that we encounter, that then when we present our authentic and unique self, that they know who we are immediately, just as you would in a bar fight or in a debate, right? Those who sort of promote themselves as being the best, a lot of times are the weakest. And that's their defensive mechanism, is to show that they're strong. Well, a person who is strong within doesn't have to show it. And just with one or two positionings or counterpoints or counter positioning within martial arts, the other person, they're either just going to be ignorant or they're looking for a fight. And in that moment, you can still defend yourself. Right? We don't go on the offensive. Right? And just with life, we don't go on the offensive. I'm not offended. Right? Whatever you propose your position to be or your perspective to be in this earth-based life, it's yours. I have nothing to do with that. That's yours. You've created it. And once you take ownership of it, you can become the owner of your own ship. And once you have your own ship, again, by claiming responsibility for those thoughts, actions, and emotions, then you take title of that owner, of being the owner of that ship, which means now you can become a medium ship, or small ship, or large ship. But then you have the ability to communicate from your ship, which is a transmitter receiver here on Earth, to other beings out in the galactic system and the interdimensions and other realms, right? Because you have now a unique frequency signature. And eventually you'll be given a call sign. We'll talk about that some other point, another video. But this is your call sign. And so a lot of times when they call upon you, that's almost what you call a earth calling, or that you're being called to go somewhere or do something or on a mission. And my life's been about answering the call. And it doesn't mean that I'm at the beck and call of each one of these beings. No, they're just calling you. But if you're open to a specific job or position or relationship, or you want something bigger in your life, then you transmit that out, and then someone who has the information out there, or a perspective of what they think or information, they think is best for you, or that you are calling for, they then will make contact with you and call you and then present what their information to you. Right? It doesn't mean we always have to follow it. But if you're asking it and you get the information and it resonates with you, then it's time to answer the call. And then you're then able to discern if that message is for you or if it's not for you. Or it may be a great idea, but at this point, it's not the right call. So you have to be responsible for saying, okay, I appreciate those 3 suggestions, but I'm going to wait around for some more because none of those are really hitting on the mark. So then what that does is help you then communicate or broadcast out to the other ownerships, or the owners of the ships, and then say, hey, I'm going to refine what it is I'm looking for. Now, if you don't know what you're looking for, or you're not sure what your next step is because you have no idea, then you can say, hey guys, I'm putting myself here on Cosmic website that says I'm looking for a new task, a new job, a new adventure. Then you will get a whole bunch of messages, just as if you were to advertise something on Craigslist, Facebook, or something like that. Then you're able then you'll get a lot of people calling back. Some are scammers, some are legit. Others have what you want. So it's up to you then to go and sort of say, yeah, that's the route, that's the path I want, that's the thing I want. And so you can present yourself and elicit other people's perspective, and then present you with what you then refined a little better from the first broadcast. This is your second broadcast, so then it becomes a little clearer what it is you may want, or that you're absolutely not sure what you want. And you just say, hey, I'm open to taking suggestions. And then so you may get those callings, because they'll sort of fine tune into you and sort of see what it is that your resonant is resonating. And then they can sort of fine tune their message to you. And then that way you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. That makes sense? Anywho, so today we're going to get into a quick practice. Now, I'm not going to give you a specific message other than what I picked up earlier, and because today's going to help you establish it instead of me just giving you messages, which I will each week, but I want you to start practicing your getting and receiving the call or your own messages. We're going to practice how to receive, how to transmit, how to be open, how to be humble, how to deep listen, in which we've already gone over a bunch of this stuff, but it's just a reminder of what we're going to be doing today. And so we're going to practice the stairway to heaven, or what I call the elevators to heavens, or realms or frequencies. And then we've already seen this one before. If you're new to me and you haven't seen this, go back and watch a few videos and rewatch those videos. And then this will help you understand what it is we're going into, because each week we're going to make contact with someone on the other side, be it a relative, a cosmic neighbor, a universal being, an interdimensional. We can name these things all day long, and for what purpose do you want to make contact? Right? Is it for you spreading the word of their version of what's best for us, or do you want insight into your own life? Why is it you go to anyone for counseling or coaching or mentoring? Because you want to know something. So if you want to know something beyond Earth that will help you here on Earth, then there's a reason. But you got to come up with your own reasons of why you want to make contact. Right? But today we're going to practice how to link, how to establish the link. Now the links, today we're not so much getting a message. If you get a message, fine. If nothing happens, fine. Well, all this is just I'm orienting you, right? Initiating you into the fold, right? So we've practiced unfolding the moment. Well, here what we're going to do is sort of fold in a frequency, a resonant, to then align us with another frequency that they'll answer. Right? Basically, you're setting up a citizen band radio or a walkie-talkie or your cell phone, and then when it's ready to go, you hit dial a specific pattern or frequencies, right, called numbers. And then that's going to send a call sign out, and then somebody that has that call sign will answer you, just like you will on your phone. You punch a certain digits or random or a specific sequence of numbers, right, which are just tones underneath or digital vibrations. And then that digital vibration has a specific tone to the person you're trying to call. It's the same on the other sides of the other realms. Right? The more you hone in on your frequency, the more you get used to dialing specific frequencies or heavens or realms, right? Because you just don't want to randomly throw stuff out there. Then it's just prank calls, if you will. So we want to learn how to specifically dial in to different frequencies. Now, once we're in those specific frequencies, we can now even fine tune those frequencies into specific beings we want to make contact with each and every time we hone in on this specific realm or heaven or portal. Again, I'm just being redundant with the words I'm saying. Anywho, so today is just about practicing or establishing a link. I'm going to go over the protocols of the seven heavens or the seven realms, whatever you want to call them. So we've seen this chart before, and again, those who are new to my channel, appreciate you showing up. You may be a little lost, but this realm is what we've looked at before. We talked about the transmitter. That's what we're going to do today, and then open up to someone else's frequency and have them communicate with us. Right? The U factor. So this is your stairway to heaven or divine elevator. I like the divine elevator. It's how I've taught it for decades. And so this is just a basic, we'll call it meditative practice. Now, on other videos, we talked about specific prerequisites, right? The first one is always breathe. Put both feet on the floor because we're going to ground out to earth. Right? You're going to take a deep conscious breath, and that's going to be your establishing link. That throws up your antenna, if you will, your mast, right? And then that mast is going to broadcast. And so however you're broadcasting is how it's going to be received and who will answer it. And you can get, later on, we'll get to know who it is, who you're contacting, and for what reason, and all that good stuff. So then you're going to have to make the choice. Right? The choice is to be open-hearted, meaning open to receive their message, and then be independent. It doesn't matter what their message is. If you're insecure, then you're going to find fault with their message. Their message is just the message. It's neither right nor wrong. You asked for a message, they gave you a message, right? Don't be offended by their message. Don't be defensive, right? That's all in you. And that's why we've practiced self-worth, self-esteem, and all that stuff in videos before. Go back and watch those videos. So now this is where we're taking this practice. We're taking it out off earth, all right? So we're coming there neutral. That's the you part, right? We're neutral, right? You, neutral. Right? This is how you're going to be able to go in and out and have a lot of communications and even astral travel, even full body travel out there. Right? Because you're neutral. I'm not looking at anyone being right or wrong. None of these beings, species, or whatever are right or wrong. It's just their perspective. I'm asking them for their perspective and information, the way they form their ions, their frequency. Cool? All right, enough preaching at you. All right, so let's get on with this. So we've seen this chart. These are just frequencies, right? Red, violet. So imagine these frequencies being jacked up 8 octaves. Octave means 8, octave means 8. We're going up 8 times 8 frequencies, 64 frequencies. And I'm just giving you a random number. But for now, you've taken your deep breath, your feet are on the floor, you're planted. I want you to take that deep conscious breath, take 2 or 3 of them until you're centered. Make sure no distractions. If there are, we just have to reestablish the link. So what I want you to do right now, you can close your eyes, meditate, whatever this is for you. I'm going to keep mine open and just communicate with you. And so the first stage I want you to do after taking that deep breath and your feet are grounded, and I want you to imagine here on earth, an elevator appears in front of you. Right? We're not really worried about the shape or size or anything. You're just going to step into this elevator. The door's closed behind you. You turn around, and there's a keyboard in front of you with buttons. You see that the buttons are from bottom to top, red to violet. We don't need numbers. We just need the colors. So what we're going to do today is just connect your ship with someone else's ship within the red frequencies. All right? So as you begin to press the button, the red button, and immediately this elevator is going to take off from Earth. It's going to ascend beyond Earth, beyond the ionosphere. It's going to go into deep space. Now, this deep space is just going to travel until your elevator starts coming to a slowing and then eventually stopping position. Now, make sure that you're still centered. Right? You're above Earth. You can't even see Earth itself except for it being a small ball. And so what's going to happen now is the doors are going to open, and immediately you see the hue of red everywhere. Now what you see is this corridor, this hallway. This hallway is translucent. You can still see the stars and planets outside. And you keep walking through this corridor and you're going to come to another set of doors. Now this set of door will automatically open. You don't have to do anything, just walk forward. As you walk forward, these doors open and now you're into a different room. This room is not translucent. It has walls just like you would your house. So inside this wall, everything is in red. Now, what I want you to do is begin to unfold the moment. Let the veil unfold and allow yourself to see what is actually there in front of you. And some of you may have difficulty with this. And if so, just imagine what's unfolding in front of you. Make it up. And as you make it up, things will start appearing. Rooms, flowers, whatever it is your imagination wants to go through, an entire city, right? Vehicles flying around, whatever this may be for you. Now, as you're standing there, you see a light figure beginning to come towards you, right? Just stay there. That's okay. They're coming to you. Now, as they come to you, you see that they look similar to humanoids or to like us. Right? Imagine, if you want to, just imagine how they look. Is it male or female, or is it something in between? Do they have long hair, short hair, blonde hair? Whatever this, what is their body shape? It could be someone totally different other than humanoid, but for right now, they're going to come to you as humanoid. And as they approach you, just wait for them to greet you. By them, however they need to address you. If they want to put out their hand and shake hands, you shake hands. If they bow, you bow. Right? Here we're neutral and respectful, because we don't know, right? So we go in, not as a earth-based being with their egos. We're just going to show up there, be humble, and await for them. So as they, let's say for now, they bow, and then you bow with them, or after them, however that feels comfortable to you. And now immediately they may say hi, or some sort of greeting, and then you say that back. And then you and then you say, if they say welcome, then you say, thank you. And then you tell them, hey, I appreciate you giving me the time and for welcoming me here. And there's an unspoken exchange already established, right? What I'm taking you right now, I've communicated with these beings, and it's already unspoken that there's going to be an exchange, right? You're going to ask them questions, and in response, they can ask you questions. They don't have to, but if you want them, they can ask you questions. So be open. So right now, whatever it is you want to have answered in your life, right? Ask the question. And I know some of y'all may be overwhelmed right now. Oh my God, I can ask them anything. Just keep it simple, right? For an example, hey, do you have a perspective about what's going on in my life? My health, wealth, or love life? Do you see a path for me, right? Or can you see a path for me? Do you have any information about the earth, right? There's a lot of narratives on earth about good, bad, or this or that. Ask them if there's a narrative about earth that they're familiar with, right? And then if you want to, just be quiet for a moment and see if they respond. And if they do respond, awesome. Right? And today we're just going to ask one or two questions, because your time in this higher frequency is actually pulling nutrients from your body right now. So we're going to keep it short. Now, after they give you an answer and you're open to that, now if you don't hear an answer, that's okay. It's being planted in there, but because of your own internal veils are still resistant to opening up, because you're not sure if these guys are, quote, evil or bad or good. Again, we've eliminated evil, bad, or good, or any of that stuff. They're just energy transmitting to you. Right? You can perceive them to be good, bad, or indifferent, but they are not. They are, in essence, neutral. Right? They're just electrical beings, just like you are. And are you good, bad, or that? No, you're just energy. However you perceive yourself to be, your energy. So we're coming to them with respect. Now, after you have gotten an answer, or that they maybe just be staring at you,
but they are giving you an answer. Right? Later on, it will unveil in your dreams or in a waking moment, but you will get that answer. So don't be impatient. Be patient here and stay calm. Now, because the time is short, you can then say, "Hey, is there anything you would like to know from me?" Now, you may feel a question pop into your head, or you may feel an inclination to say something, and go ahead and say that. And then after you have said this, then go ahead and rebow, or however that greeting was, and then thank them for their time and appreciate them for welcoming you into their city, their universe city, right? Their red universe city. Right? This is your first orientation and introduction. Now, I want you to go ahead and walk back through the door, go back to the translucent corridor or hallway, get back into the elevator, turn around, and then push the button red again. And this time it's going to take you down back to Earth. And just enjoy the ride. It's very fast for some, others it's just a nice gradual, others it gets to Earth pretty fast. Whatever that is for you, allow it. And the purpose we want to ground back to Earth is because we want you grounded back here on Earth frequency. Right? And once you ground back to Earth frequency, you will sometimes feel a huge difference between it was super light out there in the red, but here on Earth it's very heavy and condensed or thick. Right? And that's okay. Now take another deep breath, and the door's open, and now you're back here on Earth. Open your eyes and congratulate yourself for doing this practice. Now, we're about done with this video, so later on, we're going to do this for each and every frequency, red through violet, through each level that you see here. Each one of these are buttons on the elevators, and we're going to practice with each one of these. We're going to have to practice with each one because each one gets faster or higher frequencies. And if you're not doing your work on these lower realms, you're definitely going to get burnt on these higher realms, right? Your body won't be able to handle it. The cells are going to misfire in your body because you haven't prepared, right? Pre-impaired, transmitter, receiver, mother, father, right? Confidence, submissiveness, all this stuff. You have to have practice all this. And so as that message or session just continues, disconnects or fades out, that means it's time, one, make for your safety. And that's why I kept this short today, right? Because your body's going to feel either dehydrated or you may get a slight headache today. I would encourage drinking water, eating bananas, kiwis, mangoes, something that has high potassium, calcium, stuff like that in it. Green vegetables, right? A smoothie, a green smoothie, right? Replenish the body because you burnt a lot today, all right? And then what we're going to do is just record. And so we're just going to, and then when you get time and while it's fresh in your mind, go ahead and put this into your books. Write this down, your journals, whatever you want to call this. And write down what you remember, what you recall. Did you hear something? Did they give you a statement back to your question? Right? How did you feel? Right? Get in touch with all your senses. Get in touch with your body. Did you feel lighter as they gave you this access to the red realms? Right? Write down as much as you possibly can. And as we progress, you're going to see as you go up higher in the realms, higher in this universal elevator, we're going to be able to feel things more because when you get to the higher ones, you have to feel. It's not so much logic, right? It's just feeling your way through it all. Just like this life on planet Earth, you have to feel your way through it sometimes, right? That'll about do it today, guys. I really appreciate you hanging in there. Congratulate yourself on doing this practice, and then definitely comment down below on what messages you may have gotten or how you felt or anything. So going forward, I really look forward to your comments, your likes, shares, all that stuff, guys. Until next time, stay cool.